Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Whether you bond over streaming binge-worthy videos, watching sports recaps, video gaming, or by unplugging altogether, the 2026 Lincoln Nautilus Hybrid helps keep you connected throughout your journey. Learn more at Lincoln.com. Available connectivity features and functionality vary by model. Package pricing, trials, and term lengths vary by model. Video streaming and games are only available while parked.
New Year, same extra value meals at McDonald's. So now get 2 snack wraps, plus fries, and a medium soft drink for just $8.
For limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Hawaii, Alaska, and California, and for delivery.
Welcome to No Question About That. This is the Tactic Show with me, Ed, and him, Dharnish. Been a while. How you doing?
Good. We're back. I mean, not fully back in terms of the league season, but we're back in terms of preseason. All the players look tanned and trim.
Yeah.
Really like muscle. So
they do, actually.
I'm back. I'm trimmed. I'm muscly. I'm tanned. So yeah, ready to get into
it. Very good. I'm glad to hear you're trimmed and muscly and tanned. You have had some fun in Japan, which is always
skin, but
always good.
Not more things.
All right. I did see someone tweet out that United are the only team from amongst the list of top teams that hasn't been defeated in pre-season. I was like, yes, let's lift a fucking trophy now. But after the draw with Leeds, a narrow win over West Ham and a healthy win over Bournemouth, Iraola said United are a top team after this, which I don't know whether he's blowing smoke up our arse or we've just got a week's extra fitness training in. It's really hard at this stage of the season to really make any conclusions about the size of victories, because United do look, as you say, very fit, and a lot of the players look ripped, and they've been happy to show their muscles on the internet and all of that kind of stuff. But it could just be that Amorim is doing the really sensible thing here and getting them super fit for a really difficult start to the season, knowing that we have quite a light program likely, and we're unlikely to burn out by the end. So it's really a bit hard to say in terms of like the magnitude of the performance, but I think there's some interesting things to talk about in terms of like how they performed and what the shape looks like and some of the link-ups we've seen and all of that. So, how are you feeling about the summer program 3 games in?
The Premier League Summer Series, I feel really good because finally we have, number one, something positive to talk about, but number two, it's the exact same system. For anybody who is saying, is he going to change things? This guy's never going to change anything. He's a philosophy coach. So he won't change. Yeah. It's just a case of, and it's always been, will the players learn about what he wants? Are they going to start to execute it better? Are they going to start to move into shapes and patterns that look better on the pitch and essentially look better when they have the ball in defense and in attack? And that's what we're seeing. That's what we're absolutely seeing in these 3 games. Without the ball, with the ball, it's better. Maybe it literally just was the fact that Erik ten Hag knackered them out in his first season, played them for 60 plus games. They had a really good season. They came third, final in the FA Cup, Carabao Cup winners. I think they only lost maybe 14 or 15 games out of about 68 or 65, which was a really good return. The season after that, players were on and off the injury table because he kept rushing them back. Players were coming in, players were coming out. He was still trying to make a competent football team. They won the FA Cup. The season after that, he said, look, I'm learning, but one thing I've learned is I need to keep these players fit. By the time he sort of left, they were adapting to a new coach in the toughest period of the season, the winter. So maybe it literally is just the fact that they were knackered and now they're working on their physical strength and their physical conditioning, and everything looks a lot better. But then again, big fat asterisks of preseason. It's preseason. But I will say what I'm saying, what I'm watching in the game, what I've watched in the film for West Ham and the game against Bournemouth, it's miles better. It's miles better because under Amorim last season, it was literally 3 at the back, 2 in midfield, the rest up front, but they weren't moving. The lack of movement was a big concern for me. Now I'm seeing the 2 midfielders move left, move right. I'm seeing the 2 10s drop deeper. I'm seeing when one 10 drops deeper, the other one goes left, the other one goes right. The striker is a lot better, right? 40% of the progression for United last season was they're pressing us, okay, fine. Punt it up to Hojlund and see what happens. He never made it stick. He's making it stick now. He's dropping deeper. Yeah. He is linking up the player by coming deeper, touching off to Fernandes, touching off to Casemiro, then a runner goes in behind. Which, by the way, it's a big thing Liverpool did. Liverpool did that hugely last season. Diaz would drop in, they'd knock it off him, and then runners went in behind. A lot of teams are doing it now. They're using like an auxiliary attacker to drop deep, to drag a defender in with them, and then barking runners in behind. We're seeing spaces open up wide, and we're seeing spaces open up in half spaces. One of the goals was, I think, the first goal against Bournemouth. One of the wingers on the left side of fullbacks, or even the left hands, I'm not sure which one it is, on the centre midfields, makes a run beyond the defender, and the defender literally tracks him, and it opens up space for the cross, and Hojlund heads it in. So basically, we're seeing Amorim's football finally work and be executed. Number one, because the physical conditioning and the strength is a lot better. Number two, because they're moving more. It's the movement. It was always the movement. You know, they're getting, it's fine if you get pressed, but I'm seeing, the central midfield, I'm seeing Mainu really, really wide. I'm seeing left 10s, right 10s come and aid him with progression. They're moving the ball quicker as well. There's one sequence I saw where Fernandes, who's the central midfielder and who's probably going to be the central midfielder for the remainder of the season, I think, he launches it to the right back. The right back gives it back to him. The right 10 on that same side drops in, quickly links up with Fernandes and then runs in behind. But as that's happening, Casemiro was like moving with Fernandes, like he's 5 yards away from him, but he's moving. So what that means is he drags players around with it, and it opens up space for the players up front. So all of it is good. Now I'm kind of ready to see how it looks in the season.
Yeah, totally. I think we haven't seen any particularly different shapes, have we? Although there's been an awful lot of rotation with the players, as you'd expect. I mean, he's been building up from 45 minutes to 30 to 45 minutes each player to 60 to 75 in the last game. Don't think anyone's completed a full 90 yet. Maybe I don't think anyone has. But the shape's exactly the same. But I think it's the combinations and some of the individuals that look maybe a little different. Hojlund, I mean, if you're really optimistic, you're looking at some of the moves into the channels and a bit more of the running and less of the fighting as we wanted. We'll see with that one whether once everyone's up to real speed, whether that changes or not. Yeah, maybe he's going to get some competition. We'll find out on that one. I do think as everyone has noted, how Amorim is using wing backs feels a little bit different, doesn't it? Patrick Dorgu's been excellent, again with the caveat that it's pre-season, but just looking extremely penetrative down that side. Ahmad, this is a long word. Ahmad has featured a couple of times at wing back. Interesting connections between both the wing backs and the inside 10s. So Cunha's he's played a full half with Dorgu in one of the games. Mount also played with him in the game against Bournemouth. Both looked very good. Combining Ahmad, we haven't seen anything of Bumo yet, but maybe we'll do in the Everton game. He's quite a bit behind on his fitness because of the lengthy negotiation and Brentford starting their program a little at a different time and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see exactly how that looks as well. So the interesting combinations, I think. Interesting different shapes in the back three as well. We've seen a lot of players in the back three, and we've seen all of them basically. Maybe not Maguire. Maguire came over with an injury, didn't he? Can't remember if he's played at all now. They all blend into one at this time of the season. But so we're looking for changes there. I don't think it's. I think we kind of know it's going to be some combination of Heaven and Shaw left centre back, Yoro and Mazraoui right centre back, Maguire, De Ligt central centre back until we get Leacher back, and then we'll see. Tyler Fredriksson's played a couple of times as well. Midfield, I guess, is the really interesting one because we're looking for evidence that he's going to be able to find a combination amongst these sort of 5 players he's got for central midfield. Bruno, Menu, Casemiro, Ugarte, and Mount. Another one who I've totally forgotten. And can he find a combination that kind of works with these players? Menu and Ugarte played for about half, didn't they? That was kind of interesting because feels like that might be the most natural combination, but obviously Bruno is going to play there. If he's fit, and he's always fit,
yes,
and he's playing well, and he's always playing well, he's going to play at 8, which means is Menu slightly deeper? Is it Casemiro, who looked really dodgy at times against Bournemouth? I know, I'm a bit worried about that one. Is it Ugarte and Fernandes and Menu doesn't get an opportunity? I'm looking for evidence of that and who he's favouring for the first game of the season.
I personally think it has to be Fernandes and Minu. And then you sort of work away with certain games when I need more physical tackles or more strength. Maybe I'll go with Ugarte to move Fernandes forward a little bit. I would not be surprised to see Cunha in that role. Just a few games either. I just wouldn't be surprised to see Cunha in that role. No, I can't remember if he played there for Wolves. I just know that he played kind of anywhere for Wolves, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him there. For me, it has to be Fernandes and Minu. Maybe that changes in games where you have to. I can see like a Newcastle or Bournemouth where Ugarte plays more when you need to win duels, and duels are more important. But I would say Minu and Fernandes is the number one choice, mainly because in a lot of the games we are going to have more of the ball, or we're going to play in games where they would like to have more of the ball. So I think it would be Fernandes and Minu setting the tone. I'm liking the fact that Minu's back and he looks like his whole self. I am. It's a big. I hate to do that. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer used to say all the time. I think he's like a new signing when they didn't give him any new signings. But we're forgetting how good this kid was. He was.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, and he got really trashed on the internet. Yeah, he's missed 17 games and 21 games, respectively, with injury over the last 2 seasons, and that's the thing. Fewer injuries will help with the physicality because a Amorim double pivot midfield needs to be physical because often they're going to be coming up against 3 players in there nominally. I know the shape changes depending on the phase of play and all of that. But he needs physical players in there. That's what we're looking for. I'm looking for signs of a bit more progressive passing. I mean, I think it was quite obvious the patterns and the triangles they were finding in central midfield, especially against Bournemouth. It was really slick for a half. And that was legit Ollie balls. Like nice passing, movement, possession of the ball. Again, with the caveat that it's pre-season. We're not sure how fit Bournemouth were really. They couldn't really cope with some of the movement there, but lots to feel confident about. And yeah, Minu back is a huge bonus. It's just the question: can you? It's a bit like that, endless, really tedious Steven Gerrard Lampard debate of the Orties, like when they're playing midfield. How could they form a central midfield together? you're too young to remember this. Do you remember Steven Gerrard?
No, I'm not too young. I remember it, but
he was a Scouser, didn't win any Premier League titles, kept trying to get a transfer to Chelsea, one, right? And then there's Fat Frank, who's, yeah. Anyway, well, I know it's an unfair comparison because I'm not saying the players are the same at all, but you've got two players who, Fernandes certainly doesn't want to play at 6. Mainoo is a question mark whether he's rounded enough to play there and really wants to play there. And so I think when you say, hey, we want these two players to play together, they are two best central midfielders, no doubt.
Yeah.
Can they complement each other in a way that doesn't leave us miles open and leave a donut shape in midfield or put pressure on the back three because we're weak in transitions and all of that?
I think that what we've seen in pre-season is not necessarily about them, which is going to sound strange. The best points that I've seen is more about what the attack and the fullbacks are doing, because it's not. It feels like finally, they get the ball in midfield, Fernandes or Mainoo, and say they pass it out to the right. What happens is the 10 drops straight away. So then you've got a triangle that's wide, and you're sucking players in. So what's been happening is the right back passes it back to Fernandes. As this happened, somebody presses Fernandes, but the 10, whichever side he's on, he's dropping deep. So he's waiting for that pass to come in via Fernandes. As that comes in, either the right back or the 10 who has just laid it off, whoever hasn't laid it off is moving in behind them. So there's finally some options there to pass it. We're finally seeing Amrin ball come to fruition, and I think both of them have the ability and the attributes to work in this system. But it's not just about, is this the right partnership? Is this going to lead us forward? It's the right partnership because everybody else is making it function at the minute, which is how it should be. It's a system, the system first
approach.
System first, I don't know the word, process. It's a system first formation, right? The system works, everybody looks good in it.
Yeah.
And that's what we've seen at the minute. The other thing as well is whoever the left 10 and the right 10 is, they're going to drop in a lot. So I think we'll see a lot of Mason Mount minutes this season, by the way. Whether it left 10, right 10, centre mid, we'll see a lot of Mason Mount minutes. But both of them, when they drop in, they need to be able to make that pass in behind quickly. And that's happening more and more. So more things that I like, Ed, more things that are happening.
They're still way too optimistic, you know that. You shouldn't get everyone's hope up.
But it was literally either going to be, look, we've seen a few games of preseason and it's really not working, or we've seen a few preseason games and it is working. And it's the latter at the minute. There's going to be obviously a lot more teething problems as we go into the season because teams are intense, teams are more aggressive. It's going to be serious football, and all this is asterisked by the whole preseason thing. But the word on the street is everything that Amrin said he wants to do is happening right now. The players are more physical, they're aggressive, they press. We haven't even talked about the pressing yet. Maybe we'll get into it in more detail when I can watch more film, this, that, the other. Because there's still some things I don't really like about the pressing. I don't like the fact that the CBs follow them, the centre-backs, follow the attackers all the way into the half. That was a big problem last season. I can already picture sort of Danny Welbeck using that to... It's the same thing that we're doing with the 10s, using sort of his strength to play players in behind.
Well, yeah.
But it is better. It is better.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
Some of the concerns in the build-up are the inversion of the centre-back, as you love to call them, the CCB. and
CB.
in the build-up. Yeah. Onana not being fit has changed how we think a little bit about that, because obviously Bayendir and Eaton are nowhere near as good with the ball. They've been playing some very simple passes there. Maybe that's what United needs. Who knows? And it's not like Onana's passing range has really been shown to its full extent at United. So there's that issue with the build-up. How exactly are we going to structure it? Actually, we've seen a lot go, as you noted earlier, in the wide areas. And I think it does look like if we've got, let's just imagine it's Dorgu and Cunha on the left side, or Heaven, Dorgu, Cunha as our left triumvirate, and Lenny Yoro, Ahmad and Mbumo, when they're all fit on the right, we're going to look way, way, way stronger in these channel areas and these wide areas than we have done. A lot of ammo ball, are we calling it that? Are we allowed to call it that? Comes in wide areas. It really does, the build-up. And that just looks night and day stronger than last season. And look, it absolutely depends on fitness and form, and Aiden Heaven continuing to progress. He still looks raw at times, doesn't he? Made a few mistakes already. When Martinez comes back, it's going to be an interesting set of competition for that left-sided central defensive position. Luke Shaw's played some time. Amrin had a load of praise for him as well. Luke Shaw gave this amazingly honest interview as well, not only about squad building and how everyone was together and sort of hinting at some of the departures, but really praised the coach. You can kind of call it brown nosing if you want, but he seemed to really believe in him, right? And it does feel like it. I mean, albeit with 3 games into pre-season, does feel like there's more connection between the players, more what's the instinct of, and the automatisms maybe stronger than they were in the past, right? It does feel like there's some of that system coming strongly through. Sporting players have talked about it in the past, how it really made a difference when they were there for the pre-season, right? They've had all this time together. We're now on, 3rd week of pre-season training. That's if you think about the amount of training time they actually got when the season was in full swing, they were playing twice a week. It was maybe 1 day a week. Now they've had 15 full days of training, double training sessions, tactical sessions, and all of that. Add another couple of weeks until we kick off against Arsenal, couple and a bit, and we should look an awful lot stronger. Amorim, also said, when asked about the fixture list, we're going to have a lot of time, right? So it's been noted now. The financial impact is clear. The tactical impact, you imagine, with more time, fewer injuries, fewer games, more training time, would be a stronger, more cohesive United. One hopes.
It's definitely been a good pre-season all round from all quarters, from what I'm hearing. There's no drama that is being caused by the players that are at Man United, or are being caused by the players that they want to be at Man United, basically, which is good as well. I think it's important that Dallo came out and said it today as well. Shaw said it as well. They said, we're getting closer as a camp. The team chemistry is improving. It's important for them to say that. I don't remember the last time, even through the crisis, where any of the United players said something along those lines of we're together and we're going to fight this. And maybe I'm missing some quotes. I think Mazraoui did an interview last season, but it's important that they're saying that, because it shows that they care as well. But so far, it's been a good pre-season. It's the pre-season that they've asked for, and everything seems quite positive. We'll see how it matches up during the season. It's one game a week as well. There's no European stuff. There's no European distractions. Just domestic football for Man United.
We're going to get bored though, aren't we? Just not going to be enough football.
It's quite depressing, I guess. But it's one game a week to soak the season in. But I like the fact that the players say that they're getting closer together and the camp is improving and everybody looks happy and everyone is having a good time. I think those quotes, because we're all caught up in this this loving of all the transfers and Benjamin Sesko, those quotes from Luke Shaw were quite interesting. Like, they were really interesting to me. Normally those quotes would be ranting and raving about them. It's interesting that he said there's no stragglers anymore.
Yeah.
It's, they've made a bomb squad on purpose. All right, fine. Look, we haven't got rid of the whole bomb squad yet. Power Rangers, whatever you want to call them. But it's interesting that he came out and said there's no stragglers.
Yeah, I know. We could be reading too much into it, but maybe he really meant something by it.
I don't think we are. I don't think we are. But he's a player who's been at Man United for a long, long time. I think he knows if you say certain things at Man United, they're going to be looked at with a magnifying glass. I think he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he also talked about. It was Mbumo said training was hard, and he was a player under Thomas Frank. I think he knows what hard training looks like as well. So I get the sense they've really been working them hard. They always do this anyway, so this wouldn't have been new. They would have each had specific training programs over their break. It's not like they go and lie on a beach drinking caipirinhas for a month. Well, maybe Luke Shaw did on occasion, but they will have had their fitness program. We knew that Mainu was going to be on the special program anyway. He has come back looking pretty ripped, I would say. Put on a little bit of extra muscle, but they will have come back fit. They'd have had their fitness tests, their sprint tests, their running tests, their body fat tests, and all of that kind of stuff. And this is good, right? I don't think United need to be planning to peak at the end of the season. Now, of course, you normally do, but we might only have 40 games, right? If we do a couple of good cup runs, we get 50 games, but domestic cup runs, that is. But I just don't see this being a season when they are running out of steam at the end. So it's fit from day one, super fit from day one, especially since it's hard. And I think we're seeing that already, and that may play into the results a little bit. Who knows? We'll see against Everton because they will also, I imagine, be quite fit as well because Moyes loves working his squad hard. Can we talk a little bit about Hojlund, Sesko, and all of this? Because we have seen some good stuff from Hojlund. We've seen some neat coming deep, turning, playing players in. He did miss a really obvious pass to Bruno at one point. I was like, oh dear.
Or a shot.
Well, he did balloon one over as well from under not much pressure. So, it wasn't awesome, but yeah. What difference would it make tactically having Sesko in? I mean, they're not wildly different profiles of players. Maybe
don't think
Sesko's ceiling is really high, but we said that about Hojlund. Well, we, the community, said that about Hojlund when he joined as well.
I mean, Sesko plays in a league that is a lot quicker. Bundesliga is miles quicker than Serie A. Serie A is a more patient league. I don't know how many Serie A games you've watched recently, but it's not. A couple of seasons ago, it was a very chaotic league where goals are flying in all over the shop, but it's a slower league now. And Sesko also, I've seen some Sesko film. I will watch more Sesko film. He sold me. I'll say it on this podcast. I'm in with Sesko. I'm not just saying it just because they're interested in him and he's the number one striker now, I promise you. He is very good at doing something that Amram needs from a striker, which is dropping in, right? He's very good at dropping in, taking two defenders with him, and then allowing strikers or whoever it is to make runs in behind him. We're mentioning that a lot, but we have to because it's key to what Amram wants to do. And he has scored, I think he scored 14 goals in the league last season and scored 13 goals in the league the season before. The important thing to note with Sesko is, though, last season, Leipzig were not very good. They finished 7th.
Yeah.
The other thing to know is last season, his profile changed. What they wanted from him was different. He was asked to do a lot more. He made more sprints. He covered a lot more distance. There was more progressive passes. There was more progressive carries. Marco Rose basically told him last season, look, I know you're a sharpshooter and you can score, but I need you to drop in a little bit more because that's how we're going to attack this season. He is better at that than what Hojlund is, to me. Mm-hmm. And he still has... He can punt a ball really, really hard. Like really hard, which is very good. But he can still...
he's got a real thunder bastard of a shot on him, yeah.
Which is really important, right?
we're going to have a few players who do that. Cunha, Bruno, Sesko, if he joins. I mean, I think there's some run on that one. If and when that happens, we'll see. Brian Mbeumo, obviously, he's outperformed his XG. That's because he has scored some spectacular goals. So, yeah, there'll be a few free goals from big hits. I do like the physicality of Sesko as well. I mean, obviously, 6'5" fucking Viking, basically. I mean, I know he's not literally a Viking, Slovenian, but big guy, but he's better than big guy with a nice touch. I think the box finishing and the box efficiency, as the nerds would call it these days, I don't know whether it's elite yet. I mean, 13 goals and 14 goals might suggest not. His finishing is good. Is it world class? Question mark over that. He is a very talented technical player. The transition, I do tend to agree with your assessment that it should be easier coming from Bundesliga. The Bundesliga attacks, it's a question mark. Obviously, we've had a few misfires there, but not always. So.
The point is with Sesko, I don't think he's as raw as what people are making out, basically. I think he's been asked to do certain things in a team that has gotten worse and worse over the last 2 seasons, and he's done them quite well. I would imagine if there was a front line of him, Cunha and Mbeumo, he would get more chances to score. And there's still that goal conversion rate is still quite good. Yeah. I'm just also excited about the fact that he can do certain things that will make Man United's attack function as a whole away from goal scoring. And he got asked to do that last season. Even if, he didn't want to do it, he still did it quite well. And then the season before, he was more of a sharpshooter, this, that, the other. But I would get excited to get him in and then get Hojlund as well. Because then you have 2 players in almost each position in this squad.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
Good morning, Crust. It's a great day to be a bread brother.
Ugh, mornings are not my jam. Or jelly.
Oh, come on. Stop loafing around.
I just woke up feeling hollow inside.
Psst, just grab one of the new Morning Uncrustables sandwiches, like Bright-Eyed Berry or Up and Apple, filled with 12 grams of protein and tons of deliciousness. Crust, what are you eating?
It's just granola, not even yogurt.
No crust, no fuss. Uncrust your mornings.
Well, that's right. Yeah, if you filled out the squad now, you would. I mean, we'll see what happens with the goalkeeper, but you've got Anana and Bayendier. They may both leave. Time will tell on that one. And you've got Dorgu. Dorgu's probably the only real option left wing back. I mean, you could say Shaw, but will his body hold up to it? You've got Shaw and Heaven, and we talked through the defensive options: Yoram Mazraoui, De Ligt and Maguire, Diallo and Dallo. I guess Mazraoui could do it. I'd like to not see that too much of this coming season. It felt a bit defensive, didn't it? All the options in midfield we talked about. And then for the attacking positions, you've got more. You've got Cunha, Mbeumo, Zirkzee, Fernandes obviously will play a few games there, Mount. And there's quite a lot of options there and up front. Hojlund and Zirkzee and Sesko, if the deal gets done, and that feels like quite a big, healthy, strong squad, augmented by a few of the youngsters. Chido Obi, we'll see what happens with Tyler Fredrickson, whether he stays in the squad or goes on loan. They've already said Harry Amas will go on loan. I think that's good for him. The technical bit's fine with him. The physical bit is just taking a bit of time. I don't have too many worries about his career path and all of that. We've seen Tyler Fletcher in the squad. Even saw Ethan Williams score the other night as well. So a few youngsters kind of hanging around. Have any of them impressed enough? There's some nice stuff from Chido Obi against Bournemouth. Hasn't scored a goal this summer yet, but yeah.
I'd like to see some Carabao Cup Cheeto Obi minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. And that kind of depends, how many minutes he gets kind of depends on whether the deal gets done. For Sesko, is it predicated on selling Hojlund? But he said yesterday, he was very pointed, I want to stay. Might not be his option. If United do spend 60 million on Sesko, he might not get too many minutes. So it might be a choice for him to advance his career elsewhere. If they're all three of them there, you might find Cheeto Obi not getting too many minutes. And there will be a question about his development then. Would he do better with a loan? Like, he's still really, really young. I mean, he was accelerated into the squad at the end of last season, wasn't he? Might even have started the Europa League final if he had been able to be registered. Unclear on that one. So it feels like there are options. And I think the seniority of the purchases United have made was a little surprising, but it feels like they've gone defence last year, attack this year. Are they happy with the 5 they've got in central midfield, and they'll spend big in central midfield next summer if we make European competition?
I think you basically summed it up, yeah. Have you got the Ineos minutes or something? Were you in a meeting?
Yeah, I've got some Jim in my ear right now. He's telling me the playbook. Yeah. I mean, it's like financial jiggery-pokery, isn't it? But also, they've had a year of Wilcox. I mean, Wilcox wasn't initially the sporting director, but Wilcox, Vivell, obviously Barada, they've had a year in place now. It feels like they've got quite clear plans. Now, it doesn't mean that everyone's going to play ball with them. And they've had 6 months of Amorim. So clearly Wolves didn't have much of an option, but they played hardball on the negotiation around payment structure. Brentford were very difficult to get to the number they wanted, but it feels like the payment structure actually suits United quite well. Sesko, a few clubs have sniffed around and found it a bit difficult to deal with Leipzig. Yeah, there's given that they finished 7th, they may be more willing to trade than in previous years. They are a club that trades anyway, but one would hope that doesn't take another 6 weeks to do if that deal really is likely to happen. There was some notes coming out of the Arsenal camp that, because they changed their targeting there, they were going to go for Sesko, and it looks like the new sporting director who's come in there pushed for Gyökeres as a ready-made senior striker that they can slot in going for the title this year. But also they leaked out that it was a financial issue. I'm not sure if I believe that. Honestly, we'll find out, right? I don't think it would be with the player, because if you doubled his wages, he would be on 150 grand a week, right? So you can double his wages and he's going to do very well there. So would Newcastle pay more than that? I don't think so. No, So I think they financially can do it. Tactically, it feels like a good fit, good profile, better age profile, financial fit than Watkins. Good player though he is, very different player though he is. So are we being a bit too rosy here? We've got to find some negatives. What are you worried about? Seen anything in preseason that kind of? No, just generally, preseason program development of what you're seeing on the pitch.
Any preseason that is good, like you can't really judge it. I know we keep harping on about preseason, but this might be the best. This might be as good as it gets, because the Premier League is like really, really unforgiving. And then you might be in a situation where, say, he loses, I don't know, the first 6, 7 games of the first even 10, 11, 12. Then, you might have to tear, just because of what happened last season, you might have to tear the whole thing up again and then go again. I think what scares me is those first 7 fixtures, to be honest, because it's like, you've told us what's going to happen in preseason. You said you're going to get the players fitter. You need some players. You get both things, but the first 7 games, they're very unforgiving. I can't remember off the top of my head all of them, but I just know that Arsenal's the first one. They're one of the best teams in the league. They're one of the best teams in the world. We will know lots after the first 4 or 5 games. Am I forgiven that? I think Chelsea's one of the others as well.
Yeah, it's going to be, well, we've just got the 2 preseason games left, Everton and Fiorentina. It's quite a light program this year. And then Arsenal, Fulham away, Burnley at home, City away, Chelsea at home, Brentford away, Sunderland at home. That's a gimme. Probably not even there. They're doing some smart purchasing. Liverpool away, Brighton at home, Forest away, Tottenham away, and then back to Everton. And that's before the end of November. I mean, that is a tough first 10 games. It's proper difficult. They're like no gimmies basically in there. Maybe Sunderland at home, but we finished 15th, so there's no gimme. So yeah, absolutely. This is why the program has been designed this summer, so they're getting lots of time on the training pitch. We don't have 9 games. I mean, one of those pre-seasons with Ten Hag, I think we had 8 or 9 games pre-season. It was mad. So it's 5 this time around, including, you could barely call the game against Leeds a proper game. It was like a training session. Lots and lots of time training to get the system right. Got players in pretty early for all the social media sort of panic. He's got his 2 main players in before August, right? And we're used to doing trolley dash on the 2nd of September. So he's got his players in early, and you've got to hit the ground running. And yeah, absolutely. You're right. It's a really tough program. I'd like to see some of the challenges addressed, like, consistent build up through the thirds, and understand that's definitely happening. We may see in Everton and Fiorentina something close to the starting 11. Maybe not 8 changes a game, because he's made them blocks, hasn't he? In both the game against Bournemouth and the game against West Ham, he made like 6 changes all at once.
Yeah, he made lots of changes.
Just kind of like for like, swapped half the team out. And maybe we'll get a few players playing 90 minutes against Everton in a couple of days' time. Not all of them, I'm sure, but something approaching. And that's central midfield portion, right? Build up out of the back. What does it look like through the central midfield? Are we comfortable with what that looks like? Who's going to, like, the Cunha and Bumo dropping in to make the auxiliary midfielder, basically? What does that look like? Are we seeing the possession look as comfortable as it did against Bournemouth? So we're getting up to what might be 60% on average possession or something like that. That's what he wants, right? Heavy possession. He's got rid of the dynamic players because they don't fit his system, and he doesn't want them in Garnacho and Rashford. We've got possession heavy players now. Let's see that on the pitch. Ammo ball coming to fruition in these next two preseason games. I hate it. Ollie ball I was comfortable with. Ten Hag balls fucking, but that Ten Hag ball bag, more like. Awful.
I think what might worry me as well is some of the games that they're playing very early, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, the way they play, because it's like, are they going to play the way that we're seeing in preseason, just possession heavy? In which case, is that the right way to play against those teams? Because they'll probably afford them more space and pick you off. But if we see that he is playing that way, and we see like that they're playing well in that manner, and we see maybe a few close games, that still might be okay. But what worries me is he gets found out completely, because these coaches, they're smart. They'll find you out very, very quickly, and then he has to quickly call and go and change a plan. Or, basically it's that old saying, everyone has a plan till they get punched in the face. Who said that, by the way?
Yeah,
was it like Mike Tyson or something?
Yeah.
Did he actually say that?
I don't know, actually. I mean, I think it's just widely credited as being Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I've seen a video of it. Let's go check it out. Yeah. But it's fair enough. Yes, absolutely. And there's nothing like the Premier League for coaches like working out a system to beat you. Nothing like it. There's 15 teams where they've got extremely smart coaches who will do that. For sure. They'll pick holes in any weaknesses United have. And those first, yeah. And your point about, like, how does he approach this tactically? Does he do what he did? Like, one of his earliest games when he joined the club was away at Liverpool, right? He played Ugarte and Menu in there. He played very, very compact, and we tried to play on the break, and he got away with a draw, right? And it's one of the best results he had all season.
Probably should have won,
basically. Yeah, it might be number one, right? And it was just a a very good defensive performance, tried playing in transitions where they could. And he did it at Sporting regularly, especially in European competitions, right? It's not a surprise. If you look down the possession of all his stats, right? Take last 2 seasons, look down the possession figure he had. It's in the 60s, and there'll be one at 35, and it'll be away at Dortmund or home to Arsenal or home to City or whatever it was. So he just changed it around because he's as well as being a systems coach, he's pragmatic when he needs to be as well. So it's a fair point to say, hey, are we going to play like that in these really tough games in the first 7-8 games? If so, is all this work in preseason worth it for that, you know? But you can see what he's trying to build to, and then he'll have an assessment about how strong we are relative to those other teams. I mean, of course, everyone's spending tons of money. I mean, Liverpool shows you the value of doing well, having big commercial contracts and spending your money wisely because they've got tons of it, you know, and they've really, really strengthened. They're going to look very, very good, I think. City, I imagine they're going to do a lot of deals towards the end of the window. They did a few before the Club World Cup, of course, but they always have loads of headroom, so they'll be stronger. Arsenal have filled in problem areas for sure. Maybe not left-sided attacker. I think they'd probably like to do that. If Eze comes in, that would be a very good purchase for them. But it just means we're going to play a lot of teams who were stronger than us last season and have strengthened. And although we may be better relatively, are we? We'll find out. Fun and games, Dharnish.
Yeah. Well, perfect way to end it, I guess, on that bombshell.
On that bombshell. Well, the bomb squad is still with us, but not in America. And we seem to be more unified as a result. That's what Luke Shaw said. And we've seen some unification on the pitch. I think little signs of it. I do feel like we've been too positive in this pod, and it's a very uneasy feeling because we've just not used to been doing it for the last 2 years. It's just been all doom and gloom.
I mean, we'll see when the season starts, but I don't really have anything. I mean, I've said that the points that I'm concerned about.
Yeah, well, we'll look out for them against Everton in Atlanta.
That's really what we want to go off right now.
Atlanta at 5:00 in the afternoon is going to be boiling fucking hot. So I always like Luke Shaw when we play these boiling hot games. He goes, bright red. Poor old Shawry. All right, Dharnish, thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you soon. Thanks for listening to No Question About That. You can support this show by visiting patreon.com/NQATpod or in your Apple podcast feed. We do a backer show each week going deep dive into a topic related to United. Or if you don't want to part with your cash, an even better way is to leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And now on with the show.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.